Everyone loved watching Dale Phillip's travel videos. Now they're calling him arrogant. People used to laugh at his street clips. Now they're calling them humiliating. One fan tweeted, "It used to feel like travel. Now it feels like mockery." Another wrote, "Man turned real people into content." Indian forums blew up. A clip of him arguing over street food went viral, and suddenly, everyone had an opinion. Was he being playful or just rude? News outlets started digging. Titles read, "The foreigner who went too far in India." And that's when things really turned ugly. From food stalls to police stations, every country he touched turned into a headline. And just like that, Dale went from vlogger to villain. He started small, a poker player who swapped cards for a camera. And somehow, it worked. Dale Phillip blew up fast. One minute he's filming cheap meals, the next he's a YouTube superstar. In India, people loved him. The foreigner who haggles like a local. But the laughs didn't last. That same energy that made him go viral started turning people off. His tone, too sharp. His jokes, a little too smug. His street food video went viral, but not in a good way. People said he humiliated the vendor. One fan commented, "He's not haggling, he's mocking." Another wrote, "Bro turned poverty into content." If you didn't know, in India, bargaining is a tradition. It's a game. You argue and meet in the middle. But Dale, he made it content. Suddenly, that daily struggle turned into a punchline. A vendor's mockery became a meme for him. Some said people were overreacting. Others weren't so sure. One tweet said, "It's not funny when someone's survival is your entertainment." Another wrote, "That man looked embarrassed. Dale crossed a line." And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Because this wasn't the first time. The outrage didn't start in India. It started years ago in Pakistan. Dale filmed a clip accusing local horsemen of scamming him. He said they charged 5,000 rupees after agreeing on 200. The clip went viral. Police showed up. The men got detained. And that's when people realized this wasn't a one-time thing. It was a pattern. What some saw as exposing scams, others saw as humiliation. One guy summed it up perfectly. "You came to our country for content, not respect." And before anyone says he was only documenting his experience, well, that's not entirely true. Dale also made a tweet about the situation, saying, "My first real negative experience in Karachi. 99% of people there are good, but eventually I had to run into some criminals." That's exactly what people call blowing things out of proportion. Sure, some fans saw it as Dale just exposing scams, while others took it as him turning everyday hustles into a legal crisis for some people who paid the price for his content. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It seems like Dale has a habit of visiting these countries and moving around as he sees fit. Why do we say that? Well, because back in January 2021, Phillip was booked in Kerala, India, by the Munnar district forest officer for entering the forest without permission and wearing the wrong clothing. And that right there is what triggered his downfall. See, public backlash doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It usually needs a spark. For Dale, it wasn't just one big scandal. It was multiple viral moments piling up. The bargaining clips, the Karachi horseman arrests, and now, walking into a forest without permission. Fans were done brushing it all under the rug. They labeled Dale as a cheeky vlogger, someone who films locals, calls out scams, and leaves behind humiliation, arrests, and cultural disrespect. Once fans put everything together, Dale quickly went from Dale Phillip, the travel vlogger, to Dale Phillip, the foreigner who shames locals on camera. People came forward with all kinds of takes on the situation. Some thought Dale was shaming the vendors. Others believed he was faking the interactions, just for views. One fan on Reddit said, "This one's a bit shady. Dale Phillip is friends with the Luke guy, and I'm sure Luke must have told him about the scam because they were staying at the same hotel. I think he went there anyway, got scammed, and then made a clickbait video for views." Another fan replied, "Now that you say it, does seem a bit suspicious. All the vloggers are friends with each other. I've seen them in each other's videos. Could have definitely done it for the views." As soon as the backlash spread to India and Pakistan, the controversy went into overdrive. Outlets weren't just reporting the incidents anymore. They were framing Dale as the disrespectful foreigner. And we all know, a label doesn't leave you easily once it sticks. And here's the kicker. Once that label's attached to you, every new video you post gets seen through that same lens. A bargaining clip suddenly looks like exploitation. A playful comment starts to feel like arrogance. Indian and Pakistani outlets cemented the idea that Dale wasn't just documenting his travels. Instead, he was crossing cultural lines. And fans weren't happy. Of course, Dale had to clear the air. He insisted that he was only documenting real experiences, the kind that actually matter to travelers. Then he framed his videos as public service work, exposing scams, bad practices, and teaching tourists how not to get ripped off. However, it's hard to take any of that seriously when, instead of showing regret, Dale has always chosen to gloat. Like the time he got into it with the Pakistani horsemen. When those men were behind bars, Dale chose to have the last laugh on X, saying, "He tried to earn a living by cheating people, but now he's living behind metal bars thanks to Karachi police. Hopefully he learns there's no need to cheat foreign tourists. Most will give extra payment if they're treated in an honest way." That wasn't just rude, it was tone-deaf, and it proved exactly how Dale failed to realize the issue. And that's exactly why no one's ready to forgive him. At the end of the day, Dale's a perfect example of how modern travel vloggers blow up. He swapped cards and reinvented himself as a budget travel vlogger. What was his secret? Authenticity. Instead of scripted videos, Dale focused on delivering raw, unfiltered work. Haggling in markets, hopping on tuk-tuks, munching on street food, and exposing little scams along the way, Dale was showing the raw street life. Viewers couldn't get enough of his sassy and confident, bargain-like-a-local style. The unscripted chaos, that's what made him different. It pulled in millions of views. These days, Dale's still posting travel vlogs, with his account reaching almost 4 million subscribers. But it's not like the old days anymore. The same audiences that once rushed to see his content now choose to skip past it. And that is a reminder of how the bold outsider can quickly land in unwelcome controversy. The same sassy bargaining clip that launched his fame also sealed his reputation.